The password.
The first order of business is the approval of the October 23rd minutes. Any additions, corrections? Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next order of business is the following new business where we will consider the petition of NSS Propco LLC doing business as Rivermont School for a conditional use permit in an R1 low-density residential district to allow the use of an existing structure as a K-12 private school at 942 Leesville Road.
Members of Planning Commission, the purpose of the CUP petition is to allow the use of an existing structure as a K through 12 private school at 742 Leesville Road. The subject property contains approximately 657,000 acres, and the future land use map recommends an institution use. The city's institutions include the religious, educational, and other nonprofit entities in the city. Examples include churches, cemeteries, private schools and universities, private nonprofit hospitals, service clubs, and other nonprofit institutions. The property is zoned R1 Low Density Residential District Private schools are permitted in this district upon approval of a CUP by City Council. The subject property contains a two-story church structure with approximately 14,800 square feet. If approved, the church would be repurposed as a K-12 private school for up to 70 students. No exterior improvements are proposed at this time, and existing parking exceeds what is required. The proposed use should have limited impact on the surrounding area and would fit within the existing corridor. The city's technical review committee reviewed the petition on October 22nd, and the planning division recommends approval of the petition. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is here to speak on behalf of this petition?
Good afternoon. My name is Jamie White. I'm with White Engineering Design. I'm representing the prospective buyer for this piece of property. Kind of a simple project on our end. The existing church had been used there for several years. They had ample parking for services there, and you can see the plan now. There's gravel parking lots and the paved parking lots close to the building, which more than meet the needs for what we're trying to achieve and converting this to a school. The occupier or purchaser is looking to move their current facility at Rivermont Schools from off of Old Forest Road. They've outgrown that. And they were looking to acquire this piece of property and move that operation here. So they'll be leaving one spot on one side of town and moving to this spot here. That will allow them to get some additional growth for the needs that are out there. So Rivermont School provides schooling for alternative education, for autistic students and things of that nature. They get their students recommended from the local areas, so that's Lynchburg, Campbell, Bedford. And most of those students travel by public school bus transportation. So Lynchburg City Schools or Campbell County, they will bring those students to the site. And they may work out alternate transportation, but that's usually provided by public transportation in some form or another. The site is not going to be looking to where it's like parents dropping kids off and a whole lot of traffic coming into the property. We did do a traffic study analysis to see if there was any necessities for left or right turn lanes. We did not meet the warrants for those requirements, so we're not proposing that. That was reviewed by the city's traffic engineer. Adequate facilities are already on the site, so nothing is really required on the site itself. It's just a change of use internal to the building. And I'll take any questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We might call you back up. Appreciate it, Jamie. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the petition? Will you please come forward and sign in and state your name?
I'll finish that when I'm done. But I'm Beth Ackerman. I'm Senior Vice President of Rivermont Schools, and I have a lot of nostalgia to the Old Forest location. That was my first classroom right out of college in the mid-90s, but we've outgrown it. This particular campus is our kiddos with autism, and we aren't able to provide in that location some of the cutting edge things that we should be doing, like a sensory room and life skills. We don't have that life skills areas for our older kids. So we really need to move them to a better location and to give them the services that they need. So when this became available, seemed like the perfect fit for us. So we appreciate your consideration and take any questions you might have.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Mhm.
Is there anybody else here to speak in favor of the petition? In opposition of the petition? And we will close our public hearing and open it up to questions.
I want to make a comment. I didn't see the address before I reviewed this earlier, but it's kind of funny. This used to be our church building. We're over at the Big Lots now. And it's grown amazingly, but I think it's a nice idea. It's some great facilities there. Parking was always the issue, but it looks like they've turned that lower thing into something. But it's a great building, and I'd be glad to see it turn into something useful and productive like this. So I'll certainly be supporting it.
We visited Calvary. My family's the Facts. They go to Calvary, so.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I groaned. R1 Leesville, that's been taking a lot of hits. And then, of course, once I read it and realized what was going on, I think it's a great use. Having an existing facility it makes sense. Sure, there's some concerns about people going in and going out twice a day, but you can't knock the fact that we've got an empty building that's going to be put to good use. So I think it's a great project.
I have a question about development plans and growth plans. So, and Jamie, you might be able to answer this. Is there like a master plan for growth for this facility? It's a lot of land. That's why I was asking.
I was just saying it again.
There's a lot of land.
There is a lot of land. There are no plans for expansion. The building can hold quite a bit more than what they're projected. I think what we're looking at, starting off, they're going to be somewhere around 45, 50 students to start off with. The 5-year plan is to get it up to about 70 students. The building is more than ample to accommodate that type of student level and staff.
So what level, I mean, and my assumption it wouldn't be really matter any level. Is there any level that we would have to grow to where that traffic study would be a problem?
So obviously, if we look at a 5-year plan and we didn't meet that once, and when we did our traffic analysis, we projected for the 5-year growth. Obviously, with any facility reaching a certain capacity, you always have an issue with growth exceeding the traffic capacity of the entrance. Where we're at the 5 years, we just don't foresee that we're going to get that far. I would also mention that, typically when we look at entrance designs and left and right turn lane warrants, that's looking at peak hour traffic, not total daily traffic. So the fact that we are bringing in students in public transportation buses, it's not a whole lot of vehicles coming in and out, like parent drop off and things of that nature. So you don't have that rush of traffic that you get at some private schools with pickup. And then the peak hour traffic is not even an issue in the afternoon because it doesn't match up with the peak hour traffic for everybody getting off work. So that's usually around between 4:45 and 5:45. So obviously we don't see, obviously you can always project further out, but we do a 5-year analysis on that.
Great, thanks.
But all the children are in public transportation, so none of the parents drop?
Some of the parents might.
Okay.
But most of the children are public transportation, and it's that 2 p.m.
Recording thing.
Yes. Most of them are public transportation. On some occasions, it is private for the parents, but it's that 2:30, the staff and students are also scattered, which helps. So they're not all coming and leaving at the same time. So it's 2 and 2:30.
And there's no backup on the road type of thing. I know this parking lot operates in a large circle. So you can, and it's wide enough that there shouldn't be any, at least backups on the property. As far as coming out of the property, it should maybe a different matter later down the road.
And we don't feel, since we're not in the peak hour in the afternoons, we don't feel like exiting is going to be an issue coming out because really, at that time frame, there's really not a whole lot of traffic on Eastfield Road because it's a lot of residential there. People are either already at work or at home. So at least exiting isn't an issue. Actually, coming in the mornings where you're going to match up with peak hour issues, but the warrants didn't require anything. Didn't require any improvements to the road with where it is.
Well, Eve or Rachel, if in, say, 10 years, you get to 100 or 125 students, or 15 years, whatever, you get to where the warrant would require a taper or something, would this CUP, this condition kick in? Is there?
Yeah, so as written and as recommended by staff, right now the conditional use permit is only for a maximum of 70 students. Okay. So if at that point they reevaluated and they wanted more, they would need to go through the CUP process again to amend it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just curious, is there an affiliation with the city schools, or like how are they providing the I mean, it doesn't have anything really to do with.
It is
CP,
interesting. Yeah, if you really want to know some of the history. Actually, the name Rivermont comes from, we started in the hospital with Sintra. So our first classroom was in the hospital, and it was more when it's the mental health population. But this is for the kids with autism. An IEP decides that a child goes to our schools. And so the IEP requires the transportation comes from public schools. So even if a parent brings the kids, the city does pay the parents to transport their kids because of the IEP student.
And are they coming from like their neighborhood school?
No,
Or-
they're coming from home. Well, in some occasions, we are transitioning back because that's our ultimate goal, is that they go to their public schools. So in some occasions, they could be coming to us for half day, but usually they're coming to and from home. So, yep. And it's Lynchburg, Campbell, Amherst. We service the greater region, so.
I think it's fantastic, and it seems like there's little to really discuss, and it's a perfect situation with the flume, recommending for institutional use, and so I see no issues and would be fully supporting it.
Great, thank you.
Me too. Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
I move to accept the proposal as submitted.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Let's see, any other new business or old business that you can think of? I know we have a meeting tomorrow,
Just a
right?
reminder that we'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully, in the training room upstairs. The elevator should be unlocked for you to access the second floor for our offensive plan work session. So
3 to 5.
at 3 p.m. We may have some snacks left over from a previous meeting that we could use.
And our meeting before Thanksgiving never happens, right?
Right, yeah, no meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Are there things on the docket for the next available meeting slot? That you know of?
Yes, there should be for the first meeting in December,
Okay, great.
and then no second meeting in December.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll move.
I make a
to-
move.
Yeah. amend.
Move.
All right, all in favor?
I'm making the
Aye.
move, aye.